Hello and welcome to my channel, The Serious Storyteller. Today I am going to read from A Treasury of Christmas Teddy Tales. Keep listening. Thank you. Teddy Tales in this book includes Teddy on Christmas Day, Teddy and the Christmas Visit, Teddy and the Snowman, and Teddy and Santa's Sleigh Ride. Now let's read from Teddy on Christmas Day. Thank you. Teddy on Christmas Day. Teddy opened one eye, then the other. "Don't rise too early," had said his mother. He lifted his head and looked around. What was that parcel in ribbons bound? Silently he rose and crept across the floor, gazing at the parcel by his bedroom door. It was beautifully wrapped with ribbons and bows. Teddy tingled with joy from his head to his toes. Could it be the present that he had waited for so long? Trembling, he unwrapped it, hoping he would not be wrong. Off came the colored ribbons, off came the pretty bows, off came the wrapping paper. Teddy whispered, "Here goes." It is, hurrah, hurrah! Teddy had got his first guitar. With legs astride and beaming smile, he strummed the shattering chord, pretending he was a pop star. He said, "Here's a new record. It's Christmas today, Christmas today. Oh, what fun is Christmas Day. Presents to open, goodies to eat. Christmas Day is one big treat." "Teddy dear," his mother called, "that was very nice, I'm sure. But please go back to bed now. It's only 4:20. Teddy lovingly stroked his new guitar and climbed back into bed. He tried closing his eyes but could not sleep as music filled his head. Teddy lay live at the woodland. Soon the first rays of sunshine began to herald Christmas Day. Teddy sprang up out of bed and his guitar began to play. He just could not wait to show his friends how lucky he had been. He thought he was the luckiest bear the world had ever seen. Teddy thanked his mummy and daddy for his lovely new guitar, then sat down to eat porridge and cream and some honey from the jar. He had arranged to meet the other bears around about 10:30. So with the guitar slung over his shoulder, set off for the woodland den. Arriving at the woodland den, Teddy had a big surprise. When he opened the wooden door, he could scarce believe his eyes. Jimbo began with a roll on the drums. He was wearing a nice green coat. Bessie blew loud on a big slide trombone, and Bell's trumpet hit a high note. They had all received musical instruments on this lovely Christmas Day, and now, with Teddy playing on his new guitar, they began to play away. Soon the whole woodland den was rocking to the foot-tapping beat, the beat of the Teddy Bear Jazz Band. What a wonderful Christmas treat! "It's time to go," said the teddy at last. "But come to my house tonight. Bring your folks, and we'll have a good time. I'm sure it will be all right." Teddy's mummy and daddy beamed their delight as they greeted them one and all. They prepared lots of food, rolled back the carpet, and said, "Come on, let's have a ball." All the bears had now arrived, and the party was really swinging. Lionel Bear, who had a lovely voice, led them with his singing. Then Teddy stood up and raised his glass. "I propose a little toast to all you wonderful friends of mine, to the bears I love the most." The teddy bear jazz band played all night, and they all had a wonderful time. They clinked their glasses in a Christmas toast and then all together sang Auld Lang Syne. Outside the snow began to fall, soft and cold and glittering white, and in the sky a bright star shone on this magical Christmas night. The end. Thank you. Let's start with the next story. Teddy and a Christmas Visit. Snow was falling on the woodland pines, and the bears were in their den. "You know, I have been thinking," Teddy said. "It's time we called on old Ben." And so off into the forest went the intrepid little bears, pushing and pulling their sleigh along through the woodland that was theirs. Soon they began to collect things from their friends along the way. The squirrels gave them hazelnuts, put by for a special day. The bees said, "Here's some honeycomb with Christmas greetings to dear Ben. We often visit his garden. In fact, it's time we went again." Buzz, buzz. The rabbits gave them some orange pippins, preserved in their underground store, and Grandma Bear gave a beautiful cake as they passed by her cottage door. Toad of Toad Hall gave some nice Christmas crackers with a card which began, "My dear Ben," whilst Rat and Mole gave a long playing record of the Great Des O'Connors Top 10. Miss Bunty Bear had knitted some socks. "For my very sweet and dear Ben. I'm not sure what his size is," she blushed. "So I have knitted him a large 10. Lionel Bear gave some damson wine to be consumed in moderation, whilst Lionel's mum gave some fairy cakes suitable for any occasion. They picked some mistletoe and holly and decorated Bessie's hat. Belle decorated hers with snowdrops, saying, "What do you think of that?" Teddy found some fresh wild mushrooms and some rosemary and thyme. Then, coming to old Ben's cottage, heard him sing a little rhyme. "Oh, lack-a-day, oh, lack-a-day, how sweet does my garden grow! If only I could see my friends, much happiness would I know. Here we are, came a loud chorus from the bears. Forget your worries and your woes, your troubles and your cares. With that, they knocked on the great oak door, which Ben opened with a smile. How nice to see you, said old Ben. I think of you all the while. The bears gave Ben all the gifts they had brought. He was delighted as can be. You are just in time for a freshly baked cake and a nice pot of Earl Grey tea. They decorated the Christmas tree with tinsel and colored balls, then hung mistletoe, holly, and ivy all around the cottage walls. Very soon, then old Ben's cottage was looking festive as can be, a roaring log fire in the grate, and a beautiful Christmas tree. Ben was so happy that the bears had come to call, and though he liked the presents, seeing them was the best of all. And so, as dusk began to fall, the bears said their fond farewells. They turned and waved and headed home to the sound of Christmas bells. Content that they had brought some cheer to a good and kindly bear, they reminded each other that Christmas was a time for care. The creatures of the forest are silent as they lay, knowing that tomorrow is a very special day. And so this little story ends, of creatures all of whom are friends, who in the forest silence lay, await the dawn of Christmas Day. Thank you. Let's start our next story. Teddy and the Snowman. Hold on tightly, said Teddy. Here we jolly well go. The four-bear toboggan went hurtling over the snow. Down the hill they rode at tremendous speed, Jimbo at the back, Teddy in the lead. Up and over humps and hillocks, flashing through the trees, speeding over the crisp white snow. What a super whiz! Down into the village square, then past the Christmas tree, through the high street, round the bend, to Teddy house for tea. Mrs. Bear had baked a chocolate cake. There were toasted muffins too, said Teddy. After we have finished tea, I know just what we can do. We'll make a snowman 6 feet tall. We'll make a snowman 6 feet high, with a hat and a pipe and tie. And we'll raise money for old age bears from everyone passing by. We'll give them a Christmas party, the best they have ever had, with Christmas cake and hot mince pies for every gran and granddad. So come on then everybody, let's make a snowman grow. Then off they trooped to the village green to make a man of snow. Teddy and Belle rolled some snow into a great round ball. Then they piled more snow on top to make him very tall. Bessie and Jimbo made his head and gave him two big eyes, then a mouth and a bright red nose and two big ears besides. They gave him a pipe and a nice bow tie, and then a black top hat, stones for his buttons and a walking stick, and then a final pat. Said Teddy, "Christmas is next Tuesday. We must start collecting now. Shake your buckets and rattle your tins, and let's really show them how." Lots of the friends had gathered around, eager to give a hand. The Christmas spirit had come to life, thanks to the merry band. O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem, sang the village choir, whilst chestnuts were roasting on a glowing fire. Skaters waltzed hand in hand on the village pond frozen hard. Snowflakes fell all around like a beautiful Christmas card. The village bears gave generously, and soon the buckets were full. "We have got more than enough," Teddy said, "to give a party for all." So, on Christmas Eve they assembled in the village hall as planned. All the young bears dressed up as waiters, and everything was grand. There were hot mince pies and Christmas cake, and lots of crackers and pop. Everyone had a one lovely time and wished it would never stop. Merry Christmas, everybody! The bears had a splendid party. "Thanks to Teddy," they said. "Very soon it will be midnight, and we must go to bed, for it's Christmas Eve and Santa's coming with presents for all good young bears." So they said good night and went to their beds in rooms at the top of the stairs. But as the village clock chimed 12, the snowman stood in his place, a merry twinkle in his eyes. A merry twinkle in his eye, and a smile upon his face. Thank you. Let us enjoy our last story, which is Teddy and Santa's sleigh ride. Keep listening. It was Christmas Eve in the forest, and the snow lay crisp and deep. Stars glittered bright from a moonlit sky, and everyone lay asleep. All except Teddy, that was, who gazed through a frosted pane at pine-clad snow-covered hills, thinking it's Christmas again. Suddenly, coming over the treetops, he saw a wondrous sight. It was Santa Claus Bear and his reindeer flying through the still night. Teddy gasped in wonder and jumped up from his bed. He ran to the window to look at Santa's sled. The reindeer stopped outside Teddy's house. Breath on the night air froze. Santa sat on a big pile of sacks, rubbing his big red nose. Ho, 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 he chortled, looking up. You should be fast asleep. If you don't go straight back to bed, your presents I must keep. I am sorry, said Teddy, but I cannot sleep. Santa, can I come with you? You have lots of presents to deliver tonight. Is there nothing I can do? Santa laughed and said, Come on down. Climb up here upon my sleigh. There's lots of work to do this night. We must quickly be away. The reindeers nodded and stamped their hooves, and then with the speed of light, soaring high above the snow-white trees, they sped off into the night. Around the world they traveled, leaving presents everywhere. Then back to Greenland to load again with presents for everywhere. They went down to Australia with gifts for Koala Bear, then on to far-off China for the panda bears so rare. Up they flew to the Arctic with gifts for the polar bear, then to North America for the grizzlies that are there. They filled up socks and stockings with nuts and oranges and things, and hopped from chimney to chimney just as if they both had wings. On they flew with bells a-jingling, bells jingling all the way, across the roofs of sleeping towns went Santa's Christmas sleigh. They tiptoed into bedrooms and read letters pinned to doors, then silently left presents on carpeted bedroom floors. They stopped high on top of a mountain just for a quick tasty snack of Christmas pudding and hot mince pies that Santa took from his sack. They dashed across the roof of St. Paul's on their way to Timbuktu, onto the White House in Washington, over Sydney Harbour too. They flew up the side of Mount Everest on their way to Kathmandu, then down to Ashdown Forest in Sussex with gifts for Winnie the Pooh. Then Santa turned to Teddy. This evening's work is done, he said. I must go back to Greenland when you are safely tucked up in bed. Teddy woke early the next morning. Had it all just been a dream? Had he really raced around the world with Santa Claus's reindeer team? He looked with wonder at his presents heaped on his bedroom floor, then at a note that he could see pinned onto his bedroom door. Thank you, Teddy, said the note. You deserve my full applause. A Merry Christmas to you, with much love from Santa Claus. This is the end of the lovely book. Thank you to Brian Miles for the wonderful stories. I hope you liked it. And yes, thank you for your patience. Please keep listening.